here we are, we're working on the old Metro. She's a rotten one. So I'm gonna start by making these panels here. Both sides. And then, once I have those made, I'm gonna cut into it and see what I have to repair on the inside. And then I'll start on the doors after that. Then I'll do that top piece up there, which is super easy compared to the doors. The doors are probably the hardest part because you got joints and seams and folds and stuff like that. And apparently there's like 130 welds per door, so definitely not looking forward to that. But yeah, I'm gonna make this on the English wheel. It's a two-step process to get this radius, because it goes this way and it goes this way. So I'm gonna have to use a few wheels. So for starters, I'm just gonna take a few rough measurements. Basically from here to here, and the length that I'm gonna make. Like you see, it folds around here, so I gotta make that part as well. And the bottom, I really don't know how the bottom goes because it's so rotten. So I'm gonna have to Google it and see how it forms down below and what it looks like with this piece here as well, this filler piece. So it's gonna be interesting. So I'm probably gonna replace this one here to about, I would say about here. And then this one here, yeah, roughly the same as well. There's a few dents in here, but I'll just bang those out. I'll just go as high as I can where the metal is still good. And I'll take off these moldings here to see what's underneath. I have no idea. And the quarters are there already, so I'll probably tie all that in. Once I get all this made and everything, then I'll weld it all in. And I'll show you that as well. And I gotta do a little piece inside here as well. In here, this is all hammered in and rusty, so I'm gonna make a nice piece there. And this piece here, I gotta make a nice piece here to give that some strength. Yeah, see these doors? I really gotta hammer those and make new bottoms. It should be as good as new. Yeah. So I'm gonna take some measurements and I'm gonna go from there. So this is what I've decided to do. Go 30 high, 25 wide, and that will allow this little half-inch fold in the door, so I'll weld it inside as well. So that's what I have decided. So this is what I mean, that this here is not flat. You can see there's a little gap there at the top, kind of goes in, and then so does the bottom, kind of goes in, it teeters. So I'll show you how I do that on an English wheel. And I have my metal all sheared up already, ready to go. Those lucky pieces of steel are going to be part of an International Metro. So I'm going to mark it right and left. And I'm going to put my half-inch scribe on each side all the way from one end to the other. So I know not to do any wheeling on that part. And I'll break it. So yeah, there you have it. I'm gonna get cracking. I'm gonna bring the English wheel out and I'm gonna start rolling. All right. So I'm gonna do the straight part of this metal with the straight wheel, topper wheel, and pretty sharp radius on the bottom one. And then I'll show you that the part will come out straight, and then I'll use the rubber band on the top to make the radius on the bottom. All right, so I'm gonna put you on time lapse and I'm gonna start wheeling. There you have my repair panels. I'm going to show you. See how nice and straight that is? So now, nice and straight. So now I'm going to put a radius on them so that they bend this way. So we'll have a radius this way and this way. Not so much at the top, but more at the bottom. You see? I know there's all dents and everything, but you can see there's a total radius there. So I'm gonna give it a little bit of radius with the old rubber band technique. I'm gonna put that around my large wheel. And that will do it. Give me a second and I'll do it. Well, there you have it. I've got them formed and I have one finished already. And I cut all that out just so I can make it fit better. So I'm gonna have to rebuild inside there. It's not that big of a deal, it's just round with a flat bottom, so it's super easy. This side is no better. Just like rubber, look, doing, doing. Yep. Crusty rusty. But yeah, there you have it. I used the tipping die on the bottom to make a nice radius to give it some strength. Used the pan brake for the side. And I'll show you in a bit when I just put it up there manually, just for the time being. And it's gonna hook on that new quarter panel that I made there in the last video. So once I get that all welded in, this lip here will weld to that. So yeah, I'm gonna get cracking on the other one now. Do the same thing. I had to use the shrinker stretcher on the top, lots on the bottom, so it didn't crinkle there. So I'm gonna do the same thing with that other one over there. Things are happening here. Okay, I'm gonna put you on the time lapse and give her. All right, there you have the finished product. It's just sitting there on the bus. The hinges are holding it, but that's the parts. So now I know what I can do here to make a piece from here to here. And I can put a trailer hitch underneath, but This will all get sucked in here once the inside will, this will all suck right in. It all just sucks right in. Yeah, that's pretty friggin' sweet, eh? It took about, I would say maybe about 3.5 hours just to do these parts. And this one here too. So I'll just get tucked in once I get the 1/4 pound. But I'm gonna fix all the internals first. You seen how bad they were? Yeah, I'm gonna fix that first. And then I'm gonna just continue on. But yeah, that's how it is. That's how it's gonna be. So here we are on a Saturday. It's a beautiful sunny day out, it's not too cold out. I'm still staying my butt in the shop. I got things to do. Now, so there's your panels. That's where they're gonna be. They're all screwed on the top. And where they make the 1/4 panel here, they're not screwed in, but that's where it's gonna be. There's gonna be a molding that goes down, joins the quarters and the panel there in the back. So that's where she is. Yeah, I'm gonna make a panel frame here. Close it off. I am gonna put the license plate inside here as well. There's a little inset license plate holder that goes in there and it covers up that ugliness. And I'm gonna put a receiver hitch on the bottom here. And yeah, I'm gonna knock all these dents out here. Once I cut all this out, you're gonna see in a second. Cut all this and that'll give me access to knocking all these dents out. There. This side's not overly bad. I'll knock those out. And clean up inside here. I can actually weld, when this door swings out enough, I can actually weld on the inside here. That's kind of sweet. So I'll clean up that in there and tack weld that. I'm going to do my best not to have to take the doors off because these hinges are a nightmare to get out. An absolute nightmare. So I might rebuild the doors right on the bus. Here's hoping. So yeah, I'm gonna put you on the time lapse. I'm gonna cut it here, and then you're gonna really see the ugliness here. But what's a good thing about it is I can rebuild the inside of the panel from the inside because it's like no insulation or nothing in this thing. So everything, it's just the inside panel, which is all shot on the floor in that corner. And this corner here is all shot as well, so I'll just rebuild the inside, and that's how it is. I would have not want to drive this thing in the 50s. This thing's a 54, by the way. And there is like zero insulation in this thing. I can only imagine driving this thing in winter up north where this thing came from with zero insulation. Zero. This thing must have just squeaked and rattled and down those gravel roads. And what's really neat about this one here is the VIN number is 420. 420, 1954. All right. Let's get her done. We'll start the grinder and make some sparks. She got the time lapse. And I'm going to butt weld this. I'm going to butt weld it. I'm not going to overlap. I got these fancy little spacers. That'll give me my 1/8. So I'll clamp all these in, it'll hold the panel in place. Once I knock all the dents out, then I'll just weld it. I'm gonna do the same with the quarters. I'm gonna do the quarters as well today, so I'm gonna button up the tail panels and the quarter panels today, so I'm gonna be doing a ton of welding. An absolute ton. So I'm gonna get that all welded in, then I'm gonna make that lower panel, and then I'm gonna start on the doors. Unless I squirrel off and do the top, but we'll see. All right, let's get busy. All right, there's one side all clamped and screwed in place. These things are nice. I tell you, these things are really nice. And then here's the other one before I close it in. Show you what it looks like. I can get at the inners, they unscrew from the inside, so it's not a big deal. I can just fix them on the bench. It's great. I had to put an extension on here, right here. I had to make that piece. It was totally gone. And there you have it. I had to weld these brackets here, re-weld those, both sides. They were just, the welds broke loose. So I re-welded those. So I am gonna close this up now. And then get cracking on that pan down below. Make that from scratch. All right, I'm gonna put you on time lapse. Well, the time has finally come. I start welding. Weld all of this up. I whipped up a pan down below there. Had to do it in two parts, as you see. My brake is not big enough to fold a 40-inch filler panel, so I had to do it in two parts. So yeah, I'm gonna weld all this up today, and that's gonna be it for today, once I weld all this up. Big step, very big step. And now it doesn't look so ugly. This is gonna be a rat rod anyways, so I'm gonna match the patina and all that, because I really want to keep that Crescent Creamery portrait. And I'll blend all this in when I put the new quarter on. Yeah, so I got tons of welding to do today. So I'm gonna get busy at it. Well, there you have it. She's all welded in. Now I'm gonna spend about maybe a half an hour grinding, taking it really easy, just so I don't heat it too much while I'm grinding it. And then that will be it for today, and probably the end of this video. So yeah, that video I just watched my playback, and holy crap, I'm bouncing around. But you gotta do it so you don't warp the panels. Yep, there you go. Now I'm just gonna grind it, and that'll be the end of it. Then I'll start on the quarter panels. Weld those suckers on. All right, we've finally come to the end of this video. Thanks for watching it, by the way. Yeah, I'm super happy the way this turned out. From the way it was before to the way it is now, holy crap. That's badass. So yeah, I'm gonna clean up in here now, get rid of all what's left of that old parts that I cut out of it. I gotta get to work on Buddy's Jeep TJ here. Gotta change the clutch and flywheel. So, I wanna get back to work at that. Thanks for watching, I appreciate it. Like and subscribe, tell your friends, and peace out.